Let me ask you a question that I found most roofing companies doing $3, $4, $5 million a year cannot actually answer. And I don't mean answer with a feeling, I mean answer with data. When a deal dies in your pipeline, do you know why it died? And before you answer that, let me tell you who I'm talking to, because this video is not for everybody. You've built a real company. You've got an office, a team of couple of reps, maybe a production manager, and you got here the hard way, on referrals, on reputation, on doing good work for a long time. You've run paid ads before. You might be on your second or third marketing company right now. You watch your numbers. You know your margins per square. You're not some guy guessing his own business. And yet revenue has been sitting at the same number for about 2 years now. Not falling, just sitting. And every year you tell yourself, this is the year that breaks it loose. And every December, it lands within 10% of last December. If that's you, stay with me. Because I want to show you that one measurement layer that separates companies your size from the ones that are doing $50 million in operations. The ones that we work with. And it has nothing to do with buying more leads. If you don't know me, my name is Manny Asadi, and I'm the co-founder and sales director here at Roofignite. My team and I, we install meta ads marketing systems into roofing companies like yours, and we help them scale past multi-seven figures. We work with some of the biggest names in your space, and we have a lot of insights on what works. So if this video has resonated with you so far, stick around, because we're going to talk about some real problems that you may have. So let's talk about the meeting. You know, the meeting, because you've sat in it. Growth stalls and everybody gathers around the numbers. The lead quality's dropped, and your agency or your marketing person pulls up a dashboard showing you the cost per lead is right where it always has been. And as far as they're concerned, everything's green. And now sales is pointing at marketing and marketing is pointing at sales. And you're sitting there nodding your head wondering what the heck is happening. You're like a referee at the table. Except here's the uncomfortable part. You're a referee with no film to review. You have opinions on both sides and data from neither. So the loudest voice in the room wins. And the loudest voice is usually whoever's commission is on the line. And I know some of you have already acted on this. You fired the last agency. Maybe you fired two. And the problem followed you to the new one. And honestly, that should have told you something. Because when a problem survives the vendor change, it was never the vendor. You know that. And look, I want to be precise about the actual problem. Like, what is it? Because it's not that your people are lying to you. Your salespeople genuinely experience some appointments that are garbage. And your marketing people genuinely see leads coming in on a good budget. Both of these things can be true at the same time. The problem is that in your company, and almost in every roofing company in America, those two wars never get connected. The agency sees a form fill and then goes blind. They have no idea which lead sat, which one signed, and your sales team, they see the appointments with no idea what campaign and what message and what audience produce each one. So when a deal dies, the information about why it died just evaporates and nobody writes it down. Nobody categorizes it and nobody feeds it back. And a company that doesn't capture why deals are dying cannot diagnose the real problem itself, the real bottleneck. And notice, it's not leads, it's not closing deals, it's not a skill set issue, it's missing the wiring between these two. Now let me show you why this matters so much. And let me give you one of the cleanest examples I can think of. One of our biggest clients down in South Florida has 2 reps. It's the same company, it's the same territory, same pricing structure, same exact ads as well. One of them is closing at 46%, while the other one is closing at 24%. Same everything, but double the results. Now put yourself in the owner's chair for a second, and imagine he didn't track his closing rate by rep, which by the way, most of the companies your size don't. What does the situation look like from his desk? It looks like half of his leads are bad, and that's exactly what it looks like. The 46% guys' appointments feel great. The 24% guys are terrible. And if all you have is a blended average and the 2 reps' opinions, you would swear the lead mix is inconsistent. The variable was never the leads. The variable was invisible because nobody was measuring at that level where the truth lives. And this is what I mean when I say you don't have a lead problem, you have a diagnosis problem. The companies that break through their plateaus aren't the ones with a secret lead source. They don't have some secret sauce, I promise you. That sort of source doesn't exist. Those companies, they're the ones that can see their own operation clearly enough to find 24% reps and figure out what's happening. Where is the missing follow-up? The broken handoff. And then they can fix a real constraint instead of rebuying the same leads through a different vendor every 18 months. So let's get actually practical here, because this is buildable and it's not even expensive. It's 3 feedback loops. The first loop is the loss reason tracking. And here's what that means. Every dead deal gets a real cause of death written down and categorized. Not price, because price is what homeowners say when they don't want to tell you the real reason. The actual reason, and I'll tell you this, the actual reason reason. And I'll tell you what this found for one of our clients in Arizona. Volume was perfectly fine. Closes were soft, and everyone's instinct, including his, was better leads. We tracked his lost deals by each deal. Do you know what fell out of the data? Financing. His competitors were walking to the same houses with 0% APR options, and he didn't have one. So every payment sensitive family in his pipeline was politely choosing the other guy. The fix was signing up with 2 more lenders. It cost them nothing, and it was completely invisible until somebody looked at it, because no amount of new leads fixes a gap that you can't see. The second loop is appointment outcome data, flowing back to whoever runs your marketing. Every appointment every week. Did it sit? Was it qualified? Did it sign? And if you want to know what this looks like at full scale, our biggest client is US Shingle Metal out of Florida. They do about $50 million a year, and most of it is retail. And their average ticket is $20,000 to $25,000 per roof. And they close everything on the spot. And people assume a company that size is winning some magic or some superstar closer that's closing the deals for them. And the boring truth is they win on this exact wiring. They track sits, close rates, the spend county by county, and the data flows in both directions. Sales tells marketing what's happening, marketing is aware of what sales is doing, and marketing is moving the money based on the data from the salespeople. It's not rocket science. It's little things tracked every single time and compounded for years. And the third loop is the one that almost nobody in this industry talks about. And it's the one that compounds the hardest, and it's feeding your sales reps' outcomes back into the app platform itself. Here's the thing about Meta that most roofing business owners have never been told. The algorithm optimizes for whatever event you define as success. And if the only signal it ever receives is somebody filled out a form, it goes and finds more people who find and fill out forms. That's the assignment that you gave it. But when your qualified appointments and your signed contracts flow back into the pixel, the machine stops studying from fillers and starts studying from actual buyers, and then it goes and finds more of those types of people. We did this exact thing for one of our clients down in Denver whose lead quality had genuinely dipped, and having the per appointment feedback from his sales reps and conversations fed straight back to the pixel, and the algorithm recalibrated around his real customers, and the quality came back to life. Same account and the same budget with a different assignment. And notice what this actually means about the agency question, because this is the part that stings. The loop wasn't missing inside of any of the agencies that you fired. It was missing between the marketing and your sales floor. And no vendor can build that side without you. To be clear, I'm not saying every agency is great. I'm just saying there might have been some things on your end that could have been done as well. So let me paint what this actually looks like when you're running it. And I'm not going to promise you some fantasy and some random ass number. I'm going to describe operational control, because that's what you're actually going to be buying. 90 days from now, you know your cost per qualified appointment by market on any Tuesday that you care to look at. You know your close rate by rep, so the next leads or bad conversation takes 4 minutes and ends with recorded data instead of opinions. You know your top 3 loss reasons, and one of them is already fixed, and it was probably operational, and probably your pixel is being trained on signed contracts instead of form fills, which means your marketing is getting smarter every single month instead of actually going down and getting slower and more stale and more expensive. And when you decide to add a rep or push into the next county or raise spend 30%, that's a math decision with a known cost per appointment behind it, not a leap of faith, man. To be clear, your marketing company does need to know these things to be able to execute them. But really, that's the difference between you and a $50 million operation. It was never talent, and it was never the market. It's that their revenue engine is instrumented like the production side, and yours is still running on feelings. Now, for you as a roofer watching this, who's doing over $2.5 million a year, here's the bridge. And I'll keep it short, because if you watched this far, you already know whether this is you or not. This wiring is literally what we install. The marketing system, the appointment flow, the outcome capture with your sales team, the loss tracking, and the pixel conditioning in your real closed deals. One connected loop built alongside people who do it across 150 roofing companies at this point. That's us. We work with roofers doing $2.5 million a year or more. Companies with a real team, because that's who this machine is actually built for. And if that's you want to see what your numbers look like inside of a system like this, there's a link below this video, okay? What I would like for you to do is, if you would like, book a call, and we'll walk you through your last 90 days together. If the math says you don't need us, we'll just tell you at that point, and we'll guide you in the right direction. Either way, our goal is to give as much value to our customer base and the people who watch our content as much as possible. And to be clear, that growth consult below that you book, it's completely free. So you can diagnose before you spend any money. You can get a free marketing audit. Now look, I'm not going to try to oversell you. My point is, if you've enjoyed watching this video so far, consider liking and consider dropping a subscribe, because we post a lot of content like this helping the people in our community. We really give a shit about our clients, and I want to be very articulate about that because a lot of people in the agency space do not care about their clients. Well, we do. That's the whole video, just giving you value. And so if you want more of these, then check out our channel. There's a lot of other videos like this, and I hope to see you in the next one.